Welcome back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to do advanced widgetkit stuff inside your Flutter application. So here is my Flutter application and I will show you a quick demo of it. So I will be using network call to call some API. So here is my Flutter application, and if I click on edit home screen, I will click on the plus button at the top. I will select my app, and here you can see I am able to see this two widgets, and all the data from these widgets are fetched from a network call. Firstly, it's very difficult to pass your Flutter app data to your widgetkit. Like if it was part of your iOS target, it would have been easier, because I have already covered this a lot of times in my videos. But given that widgetkit is a separate target, it's very difficult. That's why all of the code has to be written in Swift, and I think widgetkit only supports Swift UI and not UIKit. So yeah, that's other thing to be careful about. So all you have to do is I will show you how to make a network call to your API for widgetkit and show the data inside your widget. So whatever you have seen inside the video which I have shown you, everything is from an API call and nothing is static data. So all you have to do is create a Flutter application, then open the iOS project inside Xcode. Then all you have to do is you have to go to the top, file, new, and you have to select target. Then you have to search for a widget. So I will just search for widget, then click on next, and make sure you uncheck include live activity as well as include configuration intent. So you have to uncheck this. I think these are checked by default. Give some name. For my widgets, I have just given it as Flutter widgets. And then click on finish, and then it will ask you do you want to activate something. Just click on activate. And then first of all you have to go to this file, and here you will be seeing a lot of code. So you have to delete all that code, and you just have to write this. So this is how you create a widget, and these are the supported families. So in the video you can see there were two widgets, a medium widget as well as a large widget. So that's how you configure these widgets, and here you can give some configuration name, display name, as well as some description. You can change it according to your needs, but make sure whatever name you have given to your widget, this should be the same, otherwise you will get error. Next, what you have to do is I have created another file called simple entry, and it contains a date as well as a to do model, Pojo object, which you call or a struct in Swift. So here I have defined all the data which I get from the API. So I get a user ID, an ID, a title, as well as completed. So all these are from the API, and whatever is your API, you can change it according to that. Next, I have also defined this as decodable as well as identifiable. And I have also defined this as a placeholder widget in case there is no data from the API. Next, you have to define the to do service. So this is where all the network call will happen. So this is the URL for the network API call, and this is an open source, not open source, but you can access this, anyone can access this API. And this is a reusable function which I have created to call any kind of an API. All it requires is the to do object or the to do struct which we have created. So this is how we will fetch data, and here you can see that I am calling this method fetch and just passing the endpoint for to dos, for getting all the to dos. And if I want to get a particular to do with an ID, I will just pass to do /ID. Okay. Next, what I have done is I have created another class called provider, and this actually comes when you create your widget. So I have just created separate files for this. So again, this code is by default present when you create a widget. All I have changed is I have added this to dos as well, because our simple entry contains date as well as to dos. Next, inside get snapshot, I have changed the implementation for this. So I'm fetching all the to dos, then I'm getting the first 5 to dos, then I'm creating a simple entry and sending it as a completion handler. And in catch clause, if something goes wrong, I'm just getting the first to do. Okay, and inside timeline, same thing, I'm getting all the to dos, fetching the first 5, then I'm creating an entry of it, and this timeline will get changed every 30 minutes. That's how I have passed the time over here, but you can change it to whatever time you need, but I think it cannot be less than 30 minutes. Like, there is some kind of a time restraint, so you can't make it every second. iOS won't allow that, so you can check on that what is the minimum time for it, but I have kept it as 30 minutes. And this is how I handle the catch clause. Next, what you have to do is already explained this, I have explained this provider simple entry, and then I have created another file called Flutter widget entry view, which is referenced in over here. Okay, so here we can say we will first get the widget family depending on the size of widget, for like whether it is a medium or a large widget, and we also get our entry. So if it is a medium widget, here you can see I'm checking whether the entry.todos contain and at least one to do or not. If it contains one to do, then I'm just should displaying the first to do, which you have seen in my first widget. But for large widgets, I'm looping, I'm doing a for each loop, and I'm just displaying whether if the to do is completed, display this image view, otherwise just display the text and some spacer. But here I am only showing 5 to dos, as you would have known. If you try to show large amount of list, it might very well cut off from your screen, so be careful with that. Another thing to be careful is, whenever you create all this Swift file inside your Flutter widgets, make sure you create inside the Flutter widgets folder and not inside the runner folder. And once you create this file, make sure you change the target membership to Flutter widget extension, or whatever your widget name is, or if by default it might have been checked at runner, or at the time of creating a Swift file you can change it. Okay, but make sure all the file have Flutter widget extension checked. So you can see all my files have Flutter widget extension checked. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.